So I've been seeing this opinion on TikTok over the past couple weeks. Now at first, since it's a very touchy topic, I wasn't really going to dive into it. I wasn't really going to touch it. But after seeing this most recent TikTok video, I decided, you know what? I'm going to jump into this. I'm going to discuss it. Now, like I said before, this is going to be a very touchy topic. I may say things that you might not agree with and you might not necessarily like. But for the sake of this video, and disclaimer, by the way, this is not to piss anybody off. This is not to offend anyone, and I'm not trying to start anything negative or spread any negativity. So before I go into that video, I wanted to explain that, like I said before, I am not trying to cause controversy. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I am simply stating my opinion. So now that that's out of the way, let's get into the video. So most football fans, pretty much I think any sports fan in general, knows the story of Damar Hamlin. During the Bengals game in 2022, he got hit in the chest, immediately collapsed, and he went into cardiac arrest. Despite the fact he was basically dead on the field, Damar Hamlin managed to make a miraculous return and come back and play in the NFL. And so far, it has been one of the more uplifting stories of the NFL season. I don't think there's ever been a story in the NFL where a player was basically legally dead, but then comes back to play in the NFL. That really hasn't happened before. Frankly, I don't even think that's happened before ever in the sports world. I could be wrong though. Since then, by the way, Damar Hamlin is now the odds-on favorite to win Comeback Player of the Year in 2023. And that is where the controversy now comes in. Something basically that's going to ruin Damar Hamlin like in a criminal way. He is most likely going to win Comeback Player of the Year award by a long shot. He has pretty much the odds to win it right now by like minus 150. And basically, if you don't know what minus 150 is, that basically means, like I said before, he is most likely going to win it, like I said, barring something criminal. But even then, there's probably a good shot he'll still win it. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that probably aren't going to like it, but they're probably just going to deal with it. Like I said, you all saw this coming. But there's going to be some people, obviously, who like it and support it. But now, like I said, this is where the controversy comes in. Should Damar Hamlin truly win this award, and does he deserve it? I'm going to get into this. A lot of people have pointed to Damar Hamlin's stat line to point out why he shouldn't win this award. To basically sum it up, Damar Hamlin only has 2 tackles on the season. Damar Hamlin is mostly a special teams player, and he may come in when Micah Hyde is hurt. He's either Micah Hyde or Jordan Poyer. It's one of those guys. Primarily, he's a special teams guy for the most part. He was last season with the Bills as well. And a lot of people have used this against him. Now, let's look at the last few Comeback Player of the Year awards to basically, put this into perspective. 2022, Geno Smith won it after basically doing pretty badly on every team he played for to that point. The Giants, the Chargers, and then obviously the Jets. Finally got a fair chance on the Seahawks. He took it and won it. 2021, it was Joe Burrow. Tore his ACL before that, came back and led his team to the Super Bowl. Then in 2020, it was Alex Smith. This guy almost died. He had several surgeries on his ankle. There was more of a chance that he was probably not going to ever play again, basically, or never even walk again. He somehow managed to play another snap for the Washington Commanders, the football team, whatever you want to call it at the time, and he would win that award in the process. Every guy I just mentioned had a pretty good year that year they won the award. I think Joe Burrow had around 30-something touchdowns. I think Geno Smith had around that too. Alex Smith, it was just a miracle that he was even able to walk and even play it down. That was one of the main reasons why he won that award. Now, for the 2023 award, let's look at some other candidates. Flacco, who has thrown 13 touchdowns since being signed with the Browns, is a candidate. Matthew Stafford, who's coming back from an elbow injury. Tua Tagovailoa, who has had multiple concussions, is a candidate. Lamar Jackson, who also came back from an injury, is also a candidate. Then you have Baker Mayfield, who was being called a bust at one point, is also a candidate, and he's having a pretty good year with the Buccaneers. So there are a lot of guys who are worthy of winning this award. Now the question comes into play. Does Damar Hamlin truly deserve to win this award? I'm going to put this on both sides of the ball like I always do in a lot of my arguments. Let's go into the argument on if he shouldn't win this award. let's be honest, Damar Hamlin, like I said, has not been playing a lot compared to these guys who actually had to go out there and play a good number of games and put up some stats to actually win this award. Damar Hamlin hasn't really done much of that at all. Now, Alex Smith didn't have, the best stat line, but I guess it was good enough. He only had over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Like I said, not the best stat line, but I guess it was good enough. Basically, the perspective from those people, they think a player who's actually had to earn the award, a player who's actually had to play their butts off to win this award, is basically their narrative. Some people are also thinking the NFL, even the Buffalo Bills, are basically milking the hell out of the situation. I mean, people say, I get it. What happened to him was tragic. But they are still saying the NFL are milking this award. And also, to put it into perspective, Damar Hamlin barely made the NFL team. And you have with that to ask yourself, would he actually make the team if all this wasn't going on? That's something to think about. I think it's kind of a PR, thing the Bills are doing. And they know if they cut him, they're probably going to get a lot of hate towards them. Basically, their narrative is a guy who's actually had to play around to win this award, and not a guy who is basically a healthy scratch almost every week, and a guy who's basically a special teams guy with only 2 tackles shouldn't win this award. I'd be lying if I said they didn't have a fair argument, honestly. I'm not going to sit here or really reject those people's opinions because, like I said, it's a fair argument. But now let's go to the side of the coin where he should win it. This dude has an extraordinary story. This dude died on the field, came back, and managed to play. That's not something that I don't think any sports player has ever done. Dying basically on the field, court, whatever you want to call it, and managing to come back and play another game. Never before been done, as far as I know. The award is called Comeback Player of the Year. This dude came back from the dead. I mean, that says it. It says it itself. I don't know what word to tell you. Practically alone, just for playing a snap. It doesn't matter how many snaps he's played. Just because he's played a snap, you can make a case that should be the reason he wins this award. Now, me personally, my side of the coin, I don't too much care. Because, like I said, I think there's a good case he should win it. And I think there's a good case that he should win it. More importantly, I think I'm leaning towards the side that he should win it based off his story alone. But like I said before, I would see why there would be a reason why he doesn't win this award. Frankly, like I said before, there's a number of players who are doing really good this season who could win the award. Like I said, Baker Mayfield, Joe Flacco, Lamar Jackson, Tua, all those guys have a very solid case of being able to win that award. But I think in the end, they're going to give it to Damar Hamlin simply because of his story, and that's really all there is to say. You can disagree with it fully, but at the end of the day, it is also very hard to see why you won this award, honestly. Frankly, I'm not really too mad at both sides. Like I said, I'm pretty much neutral on this whole situation. But I just wanted to put that video out here just because I saw this topic and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. So I want to wrap it up here. Make sure if you haven't yet, you subscribe to my channel. Tap the bell icon for future football content. Follow me on social medias down below in the description. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. All that is down below in the description. That's a wrap here. See you guys in the next video.